Good morning. I'm downtown Logan Brown, and I'm Braden, and this is the Pickleball Effect podcast.
Welcome everybody for another episode. What you just watched is the best intro you will ever see on this podcast.
Yeah, so me and Braden, we filmed that a couple days ago.
It's tough to tell it wasn't Logan on there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I tried my hardest to do a Logan impersonation. I think I kind of did well, but it could have been better. I could have worked it, tweaked kind of the settings and the stuff a little bit more.
You know, there may have been some small tweaks, but I think you got the core of his personality and mind in there.
Yeah.
And
well, I workshopped the I'm Braden for about 20 takes. And I couldn't choose whether to wear just a plain white t-shirt or a plain black t-shirt, so I kind of went through a few iterations there.
Plain white t-shirt right now.
Yeah, but I got the hat and the glasses. You
had the glasses.
So, I mean, that was the most...
You even had the clear glasses for Logan, I noticed.
Yeah, I changed glasses. It was a lot of effort, but...
Yeah, it was so good, dude. So Logan's out this week. He's on vacation in Amsterdam, and so I was gonna do this episode myself, and I was like, I'm not that exciting, but Porter is. No. So I messaged Porter. He's like, yeah, let's do it. And then
absolutely.
Like an hour later, he sends me this intro video of impersonating.
I said, hey man, I already recorded the intro. You want to see it? And then I just sent it anyways.
So good.
No, I was like debating whether or not I should do it, and I'm like, am I making fun of them? But I kind of realized that, I'll just go for the joke no matter what. If it hits, it's gonna hit. So
you hit.
Yeah, that's good.
And there's gonna be comments about it. People are probably just gonna stop after that. They're like, boom, done.
Well, I mean,
got it. I don't need anything else.
That wasn't the goal, but I'll take it. Yeah, if they're like, geez, no more podcasts, I don't even need it anymore. I mean, I guess I've done my job, but who knows?
Yeah. So everyone knows who Porter Barr is, but in case they don't, I had Susanna Barr on the podcast last week. I was gonna
talk to you about that. It's took you a while to bring me on here, man. We've partnered in like 5 tournaments. What's the deal with that? But yeah,
I feel like it was more you not wanting to play with me more than anything. Like you outgrew me, and you're like, Braden, about that. Braden's too weak now.
Well, I mean, just because it's true doesn't mean that there was a time where I'm like, man, I should probably give that Braden guy another shot. It was kind of like a Make-A-Wish kid type thing, how they get to like
your wish or my wish.
Yours. So I'm kidding. But yeah, so for everyone who doesn't know, I'm Porter Barr. I'm 16, almost 17. I've been playing pickleball for almost 6 years now. My mom is Susanna Barr. She's top 15 women's player in the world. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, like I said, I've been playing for almost 6 years. I've been teaching for like around 2 now. I'm currently in the process of getting my associate's degree from the College of Western Idaho.
So cool.
Honestly,
done the high school thing. You got the
So I'm doing this special thing called dual enrollment, where I get like my high school credits and my college credits at the same time. But it's all through CWI, which is it's really neat. I'm honestly, I'm just super lucky to be in the position that I am. I've worked hard, but at the same time, not a lot of people get to do this cool stuff that I get to do. And so, yeah, I'm super lucky, but also...
I've loved the way that you've managed it with, like you travel, you do a lot of pickleball, and obviously school and things are still a priority, and you've managed to do both.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I've worked hard. It's been tough, but like I'm just I'm blessed to be able to do what I do, and even
And you're
more
blessed to be
even
on
more
this
blessed to be
podcast.
on this podcast. That's So
I'm just sitting here thinking. So I moved to this area like I don't know 3 or so years
3
ago.
years, yeah.
And we linked up and we did that tournament. I think was it Heroes? You were like
Heroes
14
our
or
first
15.
one?
I don't know. I think it was 4-5. This was like my first 4
I
or
feel
5 tournament.
no, we played in
Was it-
TFC first, right?
No, I think that came later. We did the one in Boise. Then we did.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
We did TOC, and then we did that one in Oregon
yeah, that's
when,
true.
when spin serves were still a thing. And I just stood there and watched you do
Yeah.
spin serve.
Yeah, no, that was fun.
Those are the days.
Yeah, no, dude, we got like second in that Boise tournament, right? We did
Yeah,
well.
we did well. That and I have a picture. I came across it the other day. I was trying to, I don't know where it was, but I came across of us with our bronze or silver medal, whatever it was.
It's just on
And
Instagram,
you were
right?
so small, like you were tiny. And
Yeah,
now
I
you're-
look back
now
at
you're
these
like a human.
photos. It's ridiculous. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Hayden Patrick went in these. Like, it's ridiculous.
Oh, so funny.
But
I couldn't, like I was. I think I was like a solid head taller than you. And
Yeah,
now
you
we're
were-
the same or taller. How tall are you now?
I'm like 6.5 feet. I'm like 6 foot
6.5?
6'6". No,
Approximately.
I'm 6 foot. Just exactly.
Okay, so I still got you.
So you still got me by a few inches, I think.
But you're still growing. I think I'm still growing.
Yeah. I
so
don't know
need
if
to
I'm
catch
still
up.
growing. I think you've got this one. But
I
yeah,
grew until I was like 21. So when I graduated high school, I was 100 and like I think 25 pounds and like 5'8".
oh wow.
And then
Yeah,
post high
so
school,
you had a spurt.
I grew more.
Yeah, so I've been growing, all my life. It's what I started doing. No, so I really feel like it's sad. I feel like I've reached my peak tallness. I'm happy to be over the
Do you
5
still
foot
measure?
threshold.
Do you still have the
Every
the ruler in your house?
the 6-month checkup. I'll figure it out. But yeah, I feel like I haven't gotten taller in a while. I might have gotten a little wider, but that just happens. So all I've got.
We're still playing though. We did TOC a little bit. We need to sign up for something else.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just played together in this like local event. It wasn't really an event. It wasn't like a tournament. It was just like this.
It was just
clothing
like
brand in Nampa. It was just so random.
What a time, man. That was a crazy place. I've got stories to tell from that. So
Yeah, that was. I mean, this is kind of funny. So this happened, I think, we'll publish this on Tuesday, so like a little over a week ago, and it came up on, or somebody brought it up, and it was like 2 days away. There's this event in Nampa. And Nampa is just outside of Boise. It's like this smaller town, not really much going on. I'm like the only pickleballer. There's like a handful of us out here, and I travel to Boise to play most of the time. And but I'm like, and it's like DJ Young is coming to this clothing launch brand in Nampa. I'm like,
what is this all about? Why is
the one,
DJ
the
here?
one that plays pickleball, like that DJ Young?
Yeah.
Anyways, so we're all like, okay.
After going to the event, I wouldn't have been surprised if it was just some random guy who played music. Like
I know, it's like some DJ called DJ Young.
Yeah. No, DJ Young on the track.
But we go to this event and he's there.
Yeah.
And I guess he's going to get sponsored by this clothing brand,
which is
sponsored.
cool. The
Super
brand
cool.
is a cool brand. Like I've got their sticker on my computer right now and stuff.
Yeah, it was really fun, and but it's in like this. So I mean, it's
this
an event,
warehouse.
right? It's a party, right? It's in this warehouse. They taped some lines on the ground, so
It
it's
was
this really smooth cement,
concrete.
so smooth. I think we're playing with the Franklin, so it's
It was a Franklin,
crazy
so it was extra.
skippy.
And because it was so smooth, the ball hadn't been gridded up at all.
Ball,
so it was just
it never happened.
So
and it's like they have like the colors and it's dark, so it's just like low light condition and it's like kind of glow in the darky feel.
It was a very like black light type of event.
Yeah, there you go, black light. So and they wanted to do like this kind of little exhibition match to show how good DJ is. So they're like, Braden Porter, play DJ, and we're like, okay. And so we all get on there and like we had some good points, but like
we did have some good points.
I felt like all of us except for DJ were just like struggling to get drops, kind of just scrambling. DJ just looks normal.
Yeah, I mean, DJ's DJ, right? And
Just
we're
tomahawk us
just
to death.
like 15 minutes before told, hey, you're gonna hop on the court and play DJ Young in front of like 50 Dutch Bros workers, and it was this event. To be clear, it was very cool, but it was also very surprising and kind of odd. I was driving with my buddy out to this event, and I'm like, are we playing just at our local courts down in Nampa? And he's like, I don't know. So we get there, and it's this warehouse, and I'm like, this is weird. Someone own a private court, right? And so I go inside, and it's just like 30 20-year-olds who apparently work at Dutch Bros.
Is that where the majority of the people come? Is just Dutch Bros? Just because the dude owns Dutch Bros?
And so, like, it's these...
It was Ryan and Andrew. Those are the guys that are running it.
Yeah,
the
Ryan and
clothing
Andrew.
brand is called
Smash
Court. Yeah, and then I think it was Andrew. Andrew owns a bunch of Dutch Bros, which is like a coffee chain around here that's really, really popular. So
we're explaining Dutch Bros. That's awesome.
They get I didn't realize half the people there were Dutch Bros.
I recognized some of them.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was like,
man,
where do
Dutch
I
Bros.
know these people from? And so we walk in, and there's like these 30 20-year-old workers just like drinking and having a good time, and like some of them are playing pickleball, and I've like, we're in Nampa, Idaho. This should not be happening, right? No one's having parties out here, and like it was ridiculous. It ended up being 6 pickleball players, including us.
Oh, that
and
had to be
then
at least 7.
What? Yeah, I don't know, man. It felt like 6, and then the 30 Dutch Bros workers
and DJ,
and so what happens is 3 of us get there, and we didn't bring our paddles in or anything. We're just like, what the heck is this place? Yeah. So then we're like, Braden walks in with his paddle and his paddle bag, and we're all looking at it, and we're like,
it the whole bag? It was just like a case.
It was just the case, which honestly kind of makes it funnier.
I should have just brought the whole shebang.
Yeah. And so we're all like, look at this guy. He came to play pickleball. That's ridiculous. And so then after that, the ping pong table. Ping pong table made me so mad. I
didn't beat me.
I can't.
You didn't beat me.
There's this ping pong table right next to the court. Good. Well, you made me feel good. That's the whole thing. This guy warms up next to me. He's smurfing. He's smurfing this warm up, acting like, oh, dude, how do you attack this ball? You asked me, how are you supposed to attack it? And I'm like, yeah, you got to really tilt the paddle because the ping pong ball gets gripped so easily.
So gullible.
Right?
So gullible. You're so young.
And then, right? You're just beating up on a child, right? That's what's happening here. And then I play you, and you beat me like 21-7. And I was so just bummed out. I think
sat on the wall for a minute after that.
I think, if I had won that, we might have won our game against DJ. I'm be totally honest with you.
I
was checked out after that.
You were just. I haven't played ping pong in so long. I used to play a lot. It's fun.
Crazy. No, you were good too.
And then I played DJs. So I went and talked to DJ.
You did.
He was just like standing there by himself. The Dutch Bros guys don't know who DJ is.
Right.
So he's just standing there. So I go talk to him, and we were talking to MLP and Kuhn leaving, and he was surprised by. He said he's been trying to talk to Kuhn, and he's not responding. And anyways, I guess that's kind of what's been happening a lot. But we're just kind of talking, and he gets bored. He's like, "Dude, want to play ping pong? I saw you playing." And I was like, "Sure." So we played ping pong. I beat him 11-5 in the first game, and he's like, "Okay, let's play another one."
Yeah, that's DJ.
And then he beats me pretty good in the second, and then we have to do a third, right?
Yeah.
So we're in the third, and I ended up losing 14-12.
Yeah,
but
you gathered like a crowd too.
Yeah, we got a little crowd. He buckled down. Like he wasn't going to lose to this rando from Nampa.
Right? No, it's funny you say that. I was actually in Utah for like a training session a month and a half-ish ago, and DJ Young happened to be there because he's got the same coach as I do, and my mom does as well in Austin Gridley. And so it was this like clinic.
Is this like a mental coach or like
it was a
pickleball coach?
mental coach, sports psychology or whatever.
Yeah.
And so DJ's there, and this is in the middle.
That sounds better than mental.
Right. Yeah. And this is in the middle of the whole PPA MLP contract thing, and it's crazy.
Gosh.
You say like in the middle of you're talking about this, he gets distracted. He's like, "You want to go play ping pong?" This whole time we're like talking about these contracts and whatever, and then DJ's just like sitting over there eating tacos, just like out of the conversation, and so that's funny to me.
He's from Spain. He eats tacos, right?
Right? Yeah. And so then, yeah. So that was just funny.
Do they eat tacos in Spain? I don't know. I just said that.
Yeah. I'm sure.
What do they eat in Spain?
Who doesn't eat tacos? Let's be honest here.
He's from the world. He's from.
We're all from the world.
We all eat tacos.
And I'll say that. I'll be brave enough to say it. We're all from the world. And
good on you.
And so we're at this place, and there's also this part of a skate park inside.
Oh, in the warehouse.
The warehouse.
Wait, we talking Utah or are you talking Nampa again?
I'm talking in the warehouse with the Dutch Bros workers and DJ.
Okay. Well, yeah. you were like talking about like the sports psychology thing.
No, I switched. We're back ADHD in brain. We're back in Nampa, right? We went to Spain. We're back in Nampa, and there's this. We're eating good, and there's a skate park, and there's this half pipe, and these kids with scooters and skateboards, and this entire time I'm like looking over there. I'm like, I kind of want to go on there. And so did a few other people. They're like, I kind of want to go on there. That looks fun. And so I picked up a scooter for the first time in like a year or whatever, and I just went on this half pipe for probably 15 minutes.
I missed it.
You did. You missed it. I was actually hitting some like tail whips, some jumps, all that. It was pretty cool.
No, you weren't.
I did a backflip, and you just missed it. You turn around. You turn around. I did like 3 backflips. And... You know, our friend Janessa was there too. I think you missed this as well. Can
she skate?
No.
I would have put it past her. Like
she grabbed a skateboard while everyone was off, and she's like, "This looks fun." She got one of these giant like full face helmets, and
like a boxing.
And she sits on the skateboard and is just going back and forth and back and forth. Then she stole the scooter from me, and she started going crazy like. It was ridiculous. She was really fun.
Janessa's great.
Yeah.
I really like Janessa. She's so nice to everyone. It looks exhausting. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah. No,
she's good at it.
You definitely can't. So
no,
it's
not in me.
No, but yeah, that place. Moral of the story: that place was interesting, but really cool. Yeah, also they had an arcade.
Have you? I missed this. After the event, I saw like pictures of the
full
arcade.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh man, I could have been there for another hour.
Yeah.
Have you played DJ before, or was that a first for you?
Yeah, no, I played him.
You probably played a lot of people.
Yeah, I've actually played a surprising amount of people. Lost to an unsurprising amount. But DJ, I've played probably like.
Did you just say that you're really good right there?
No, I said I was really bad. It's like
lost to an unsurprising amount.
I played
what that means.
I've played. You know, I think I played. The best team I've played is probably like Tyson McGuffin and his partner or something, and we lost unsurprisingly. That's what I meant, right? Okay. No, so, yeah. To be clear, I'm not saying that I'm like amazing or whatever, but
you are good.
I've played DJ like actually a surprising amount compared to most of these pros, and I think I have beat him outside of pickleball like tournaments. Like we've played rec and I have won a game or two. Nice. But every single time we've ever played in like a tournament, you know, there's been times where I played well. We played him and Dylan Frazier in Men's Pro at TOC, the one that JW upset Ben. And I think
this was a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm. And I think it was me and Nick Peterson playing together. Mm-hmm. And we actually took them, I think, like 12-10 and like 11-9. And so it was a really good match. But
That'll bump the duper.
Exactly, right? And so DJ, like, I've actually played him a decent amount, but he's a crazy good player.
Yeah.
Like, in Idaho, we don't see that, right? And then when you go out and you play, like, someone who is top, like, 20, it's like, wow, these guys just don't miss.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, you hear all the time that, you know, people are like, I'm going to go pro, I want to go pro. And I don't think they realize how good these guys really are.
Yeah.
There was that Dane Gingrich post a couple weeks ago. Did you see that where he's like...
I didn't, no.
So he makes this post. He's like, you know, Mr. Motivational, right? Like always trying to get people, you know, to play their best. And he makes a post. He's like, reality is you're not making it. I'm telling you right now. Like it's too tough.
You're just bad.
Give up.
So yeah, right, dude. That's funny. Oh my gosh,
Anyways,
that would be so awesome if like one of these motivational pros like Jim Kloss or whatever just posts like on Pickleball forum. They're like, yeah. So after weeks of research and statistics, I've just realized that you're all just bad. You're just not gonna do it.
It's not happening. The numbers aren't there. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's funny. No. Yeah, no, like
but you can, Porter. You can make it.
Wow. I hope so. That would be really cool. You know, at this point in my super young life, like I forget that I'm 16. Like I've got so much time. I'm super lucky. But I'm like
you don't have as much time as you think. You need to get going.
You're just you're just bad. No.
You could do it, but you got to get going.
I've realized that like even if I don't do it, like I said, I would love to. It would be so cool if I was a pro pickleball player. But even if I don't, I'm happy teaching. Like that's the thing that I really enjoy.
How often do you teach? Like what's your schedule look like in a week? Recently,
I've closed down a lot of my lessons to focus on my school because it's gotten like very like that's the majority of my stuff that I'm focused on.
Yeah, school takes time.
But I was teaching like up to 10-ish lessons in a week. So, you know, it was a decent amount for
more than one a day, like take like an hour.
Yeah. Is it usually on average stuff? An hour private lessons. Okay. But sometimes I'll do group stuff in like an hour and 30 minutes. But
do you do most of them at your house?
Yeah, the majority of them are at my house right now.
So Porter has like he has an indoor court that's like squeezed into this building.
It's tiny little barn.
It fits, but it's a little tight. Super cool. And then you can have an outdoor one. I haven't actually been to your place in a bit.
Yeah.
Did you guys end up finishing?
We never finished the outdoor one. We're never going to. It's never going to happen. But it's just
do you do your lessons on the outdoor one though?
I have. Yeah. It's this giant like slab of cement, taped lines, and to most people's utter surprise when they play, because most of us are court snobs. Like we won't play on a temp net, we won't do any of that. But these people will come, they'll play on the concrete in the tape lines in the temp net, and they'll be like, "Oh wow, this is just like a pickleball court." Yeah, and so like we don't need to finish it because it's good enough as it is.
I played at the coolest private court this week. So there's this guy that moved into Star like 3 months ago, and I got invited to play there. And it's a bit of a drive for me, so it's like 45 minutes. I was like, oh, it sounds like a cool place. You know, I hadn't played there before, so I drive out there. I get there. I turn in to what I thought it was a road, but no, it turns out to be the house's driveway. So I'm going out this driveway. It's got to be like a quarter of a mile long. It's long, lined with trees. It's fall.
All right.
The trees are turning, just gorgeous. I'm driving up, and then this like man-made like lake appears. I'm like driving across like by this lake, and then I come up to what looks like Star. Yeah, dude, it's the coolest place. And so I drive up in this huge house, just stuff you only like dream of, you know.
Yeah.
Really, really pretty house. Really, really big. Like, I mean, I want to call it a lake because it was so big.
Right.
But, I mean, it's not a lake.
Yeah.
But it's
that's crazy.
Really, really pretty property. And then they have like this 4-car garage. It's attached to the house. But then they have two. So I think there's 6 total garages in this house. 2 of them they must use for their cars because the other 4, they pull up the garage and there's this court in there. So they had surfaced the court in there. It's really spacious. They had some couches in the corner, a TV there. The guy that owns the property, really, really cool dude, just moved here from California, down to earth. And we played some fun pickleball, but it was just gorgeous property, really fun private court. It outdid yours.
Wow. That's a crazy thing to say. No, that's not that surprising.
You've played at some pretty cool places.
I've played at some really, really neat places. I would say like that. First of all, I want to go there. That sounds really cool.
I'll get you in.
Yeah, cool. You got the insider stuff. But no, the coolest place that I have played right now, I mean, besides Indian Wells Nationals Tennis Center, back before the PPA changed Nationals location, that place is the coolest. But besides that, there was this tournament in San Diego. I think it was either San Diego or Sacramento, just because the two names sound the same in my head. I can't differentiate.
Yes.
Yeah, it's tough. But yeah, it was one of those two very similarly named places, San Diego or Sacramento, and it was before the tournament. We get there like one day early, and we're staying with Mills Miller and his wife, the senior pro.
Okay.
And he takes us up like through these hills and into this like neighborhood. It's California. All of these houses are like $3 million. And there's this like inset into the ground, like kind of dug out area.
Like a Coliseum?
Kind of, you know, it's got like it's not a Coliseum, but it's underneath kind of the ground.
Like you have to go down some steps to
it's
get
like
to
a pool. It's like you're digging out a pool.
There we go.
Right?
There's the analogy.
Yeah. That took way too long.
I could visualize it.
Right? Now. Yeah. So we're playing in this pool, right? And no, it's surrounded by these $3 million houses in the ground. There's like these 4 courts, evenly spaced.
Wait, 4 courts, like that. Like the person that owns the property owns 4 courts, or it's like a neighborhood thing.
Well, I think it was a neighborhood thing because they had a pool like right next to it.
Okay,
but yeah, it was like 4 dedicated courts, and it like overlooks the city, and you could see the skyline and everything. That was such a cool place. I don't know if anyone watching knows what I'm talking about, but like it was crazy. It was a really cool place.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take you to the places, Star. You take me there.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, dude. I want to jump over and talk Gearbox for a second. So
okay.
There's been a lot of talk about this new Gearbox release. So it came out a week ago Monday. So the paddles are starting to hit people's hands. But when the paddle was released on Monday, there were just tons of reviews. Like I've never seen so many reviews come out at once for one paddle. And everyone, I didn't have my video review ready for Monday. I just had life stuff going on. Just wasn't able to get it ready in time.
Right.
But so a bunch of reviews go out, and they're all just like super, super positive. Just like several people are like, "This is the best paddle on the market," kind of deal. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then I tried to get my review ready for Monday, and it was so different from what everyone else had said, and I was like, "Did I do it wrong?
Did I do it wrong?"
And I was like, so nervous about this.
Yeah,
it's like we played with the paddles again. We
played against each other before the review dropped, I think.
Yeah, we played.
And you were like, I think someone brought it up. They're like, "Oh, dude, is that the new Gearbox? I heard it is amazing." And you're like, "Yeah, it's okay."
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of my general thoughts on it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so like all these things, people are just so hyped on it, and so I ended up posting my review on Thursday, and my thought was, what my experience was like, yes, it rips, you can spank it, it's got great spin, but it's difficult to control, right? Like it's power paddle. I thought the sweet spot was a little tighter. It made it a little more niche, a little more difficult. Like some people are going to really love it, but I don't think it's a paddle for the masses. Whereas everyone else was like, this thing rips, this thing's easy to control, the sweet spot's huge. I'm like, I don't think so. So I know you've hit the paddle. What was your experience with it?
Yeah, so I touched the paddle for maybe like 15, 20 minutes. Nowhere good enough to do a full review. But from what I experienced, the way I would put it is it feels like you said, it does rip. You can hit the ball crazy hard,
especially in someone's hands like you, because like you can hit it twice as hard as I can. And like I can hit it harder with it, but it's not like I'm not gonna like just defeat people with it.
And I play specifically with an SLK Halo 16 millimeter. Like it's a soft paddle,
night and day difference. Yeah,
like
and you can still rip the cover off with that one when you have a high ball, you know.
And so like I'm playing with this thing, it's like 200 miles per hour faster than what I'm used to, and it blew me away at first. Like for the first 5 minutes, I'm like, what the heck, dude? This is crazy. And then for the last 10 minutes, where I tried to like dink and stuff, I'm like, oh, this is crazy. And
crazy,
like this is impossible.
It's gonna take a minute to get used to.
You know, there's two inclinations of the
was
voice.
Kind of my overall, kind of sensation of it, and
right.
It just surprised me how positive some of these reviewers.
It's
like,
very
I think it's a cool
polarizing
paddle.
I think.
Yeah, it's just really fascinating to me. Like, is it a great power paddle? Like, if you're looking for power,
absolutely.
Spin, like, go for it. But I don't think it has it all. And like this term that people keep saying that it's the best paddle on the market. Like, I hate that term because I don't think there will ever be a best paddle on the market. Mm-hmm. Like, paddles are so individualized, and there's going to be a best paddle for you, but they're not a best paddle for everyone. And I felt like a lot of people were saying this is the best paddle for anybody and everyone, which is just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, the thing I realized after hitting with it, I'm like, I would like to play with this for a day. But if I had to just like use it and just that's my paddle, like I don't think I'd be able to do it. I mean, I might be able to. I would be able to learn how to dink and stuff, but it's just. Yeah, it's not the paddle for me, and it's not going to be the paddle for everyone. I think that's the really cool thing about pickleball, especially, is that right now we're still relatively new into the sport. All of these paddle companies are bringing out their own unique tech that is just elevating the game every single time that something new releases. And yet there are still people out there who will play with a wooden paddle and be fine with it, right? Like there are so many different things to try and so many different unique opinions and unique players. And so there's no way that one paddle is going to definitively be the best.
Yeah, I didn't like how people described it that way, but I'm sure some people love it. And the paddles are starting to hit people's hands, and so we're already starting to see some comments about how it plays.
Yeah.
There's been a surprising number of people reporting that the paddle comes in light, which is kind of funny because Gearbox likes to say that
known
they're
for being
very
heavy.
on top of like what the weight of the paddle is. So a lot of paddles reportedly coming in light, which is interesting. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then a lot of just kind of mixed thoughts on like how powerful the paddle is. Some people are like, oh, this isn't even that powerful. Some people are saying it's ripping. They're wondering if it's like a quality control issue or if it's just kind of expectations. Versus how the paddle actually plays, but they're starting to hit people's hands, so we'll get more and more information. I'm very interested to see how the market responds as this continue to come out, but I think it's a great paddle for what it is. I do think it's a little more difficult to play with, not going to be the perfect paddle for everyone, and I felt like I was the only reviewer that was saying that, though I'm sure there were others that mentioned it. I didn't watch them all,
I feel like that's the tough thing with reviews. Like I on my own YouTube channel, which I haven't uploaded on in ages, I did one review and it did super well, but it was like super hard to make because I'm like, I don't know how this opinion's going to be received. And it's like, do I want to post that? But at the same time, it's like, everyone's going to have different opinions. And
it's good to hear different opinions. And, I wasn't scared that my opinion was different. I was just surprised how different it was based off of my experience. You just don't
hear everyone talking about it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I mean, a lot of people, I think, like, your experience, I think, nails it. Like, when you first play with it, you're like, wow, this is so cool. This is powerful. I love it. This feels cool. And then the more and more you play with it, you start to experience some of its deficiencies with its sweet spot. And slowing the ball down becomes a little more difficult, especially when you're getting attacked. Like, I felt like when I was in the mid-course, like when we were playing and I had it, like when we were playing like Nick and things, when he had some more aggressive shots, rolls, and I'm in, like, it was really hard to defend those
tough.
and slow those down.
It's very
And
tough.
where you have to like do it all yourself rather than the paddle, helping you, kind of neutralize the point. And so it was difficult when being attacked. But like then there was other days where I played it with, different level of players and where I wasn't as pressured. I was like, oh, this is so fun to play with because
you can do whatever the heck you want
do
with
whatever
it.
I wanted with it. And so it's, I guess it kind of depends on, what your level is, what you're looking for. But it is really, really fun to play with, especially those first few minutes. You're like, wow, this is cool.
I think, like, for me, I've probably switched between the 002, the Power Air, the Vanguard, and the Halo, like, 8 times now. And
for only being sponsored by one brand, you have a different paddle in your hands every time you play.
I know, yeah, right? No, it's completely true. And I think every single time I have used a power paddle, I end up going back to a control within like a month at the most. Just because I know that, like, I have the ability to hit it hard. I do, naturally.
You can do it with anything.
And so
you can smoke it.
I'm like, control's the thing that I want easier because everyone can hit an overhead as hard as everyone. Right.
Well, not true. Your overheads are much harder than mine.
I don't know. You can get there. You can get there, buddy.
This is how we play together. I just do my best Colin Johnson.
You just set it up, right? No.
Well,
but yeah,
go for it.
every time I've used a power paddle, I come back to the control because I'm like, man, I can do everything with this. Whereas a power paddle, I can't reset. Like, it's night
it makes
and
it a
day.
lot harder. And but there's definitely a place for power paddles. Like your mom plays with the Power Air, and so when I was talking with her last week, I thought this was fascinating. She said when she switched from the Vanguard, which is like very control oriented, to the Power, she said it took her 3 months to feel like it was really an extension of her hand, and she felt like really comfortable with it. And I was like, if someone as good as your mom took 3 months to adjust to this, like imagine what it's going to take. Like someone like me to adjust to like that Gearbox Power. And it's going to take some time. If you do decide to get it, like you got to give it some time.
Right.
Like it's going to blow you away initially.
Going into it.
But if it has the attributes, and if it has the attributes you like stick with it, play it out, give it some time, see if it works for you. But I don't think it's as player friendly as people suggested, though I do think it definitely rips and is kind of going to be one of the top power paddles.
Yeah, I think bringing my mom, like switching to the Vanguard to the Power Air, that's funny. I hadn't thought about that in a while. No, she played with the Vanguard longer than every Selkirk player out there.
So long.
Like the 002 had been, I think, released to the Selkirk players. I think
you had a stint with it.
Not to like toot my own horn or anything, but I feel like I was one of the first people after Tyson to use it in a tournament.
Horn tooted.
Yeah, and well, all right, fine. I am one to toot my own horn, but like she tried and tried and tried to play with the 002 and the Power Air, and she's like, man, I can't do it. But then every single player switched to this power paddle. And so in that scenario, when you're still using a paddle that is so much softer than the Power Air, like your game is just like, it's so different that it doesn't work. And so she took a while to adjust to that Power Air, but then after that, she was like, her game leveled up for sure.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's the case for a lot of players with this paddle. Like, it could help you for sure if you need to get into that harder, faster game. This paddle's great, right?
Yeah,
but it will take adjustment.
I typically will tell people, like, get as much power as you can handle. Like, as long as it doesn't take away from your ability to control the ball well, like, you want, like, the power does not hurt. It's only going to benefit you. And so I think as people progress and get better, moving up in power level is a good thing. But then there's cases like you said, like you still play the SLK like 16 where like the power is like not an issue for you. Like it's there.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be more consistent with something that can help you slow the ball down and control it, like, go for it. So it always depends. Yeah. There's not a perfect paddle on the market, right? Like it just depends on what you need, but it's, it'll be interesting. Anyways, that's out. It's hitting people's hands. We'll continue to hear what people say. But this conversation about the Gearbox brought up some interesting things. Some like other topics kind of sprouted from it. So one of them was okay, like, is this going to be banned from the pro scene? Because obviously in someone like your hands and pros hands, like it's another level. Like, they can hit it really, really hard. And so, like, your mom mentioned last week that, like, she doesn't like playing the 002 because people can just rip with it, and it's challenging, especially in the hands of like Tyson McGuffin or James Ignatovich or something, right? And so there's lots of speculation and talks, like, should the ball or the paddles be kind of brought under wraps a little bit more at the pro level, and to kind of change and control that more. And then so there's that going on, and then at the same time, James Ignatovich did an interview with the PPA, and he had a comment that was hopping around. So I pulled it here. I'm trying to remember what he said, but he's like, when it comes to power paddles, he made this really good comment. He's like, you can only add, like, a power paddle isn't going to help a speed up or a flick from below the net because the ball has to stay in play, right? Like, there's a ceiling on how much power is going to help you on a flick, but it does make the counter stronger. So it makes the defense on those way stronger than the actual speed up or the initial attack, which I thought was a really, like, that was an intelligent comment. It's like, it's really only helping the counter and not necessarily the attacker in those situations.
Shout out to James Ignatovich, relatively unknown player.
Relatively, yeah. If you haven't heard of him, go look him up. He's coming up, you know. Like, he's starting to make. I
think
some noise.
He also has a podcast, but it's like,
yeah, like it's usually suggested after this one,
right?
Like, on the YouTube
it comes
recommendations. But so in connection to that, he says he thinks that they should cap, like, power, like they should control it on the men's game particularly. So he said that he thinks women's doubles is more enjoyable to watch, and if he can somehow make the men's doubles more similar to women's, where there's the fast hand exchanges are longer and things like this, by slowing the game down. But before we dive into that question, do you think the women's game is more fun to watch than the men's game? Men's doubles, women's doubles.
I've been asked this question before, and I feel like so many people have an answer on this one very quickly. They're like, oh, women's doubles is more fun to watch. Oh, men's doubles is more fun to watch. I feel like you got to be in a mood for the two of them, right? Like, it depends. Like, I personally actually really enjoy watching men's doubles, but at the same time, I really like to watch women's doubles. I feel like the men's doubles play is there's just something different between the two of them. Maybe it's the hands battles, it's the dinking, I don't know. I don't have a preference, one or the other, honestly. I like I said, I feel like there's a time for one, there's a time for the other, and it just depends on what you're looking for.
So when James made this comment, or when the video clip came out, I was looking at all the comments. The majority of them were in favor of watching women's doubles.
I know that, like, most people think that for sure.
Most people were citing that the hands battles are more exciting because they last longer.
Yeah.
And the theory being, like, the ball's just a little slower. The women are still just athletic. They're getting to the ball quicker. But it extends the rallies because it's just a little different level of power. And so James' theory is, like, if we can replicate that in the men's game, would people like it more? I don't know if that's true. I do think both games are different, right? And, like,
I think the long dinking battles of the men's games, just because, like, in men's game, if the ball gets popped up an inch, you're going to regret it, right? And
get punished.
Like you said, in the women's game, that athleticism is still there. They can get to every ball, but it's coming just a bit slower. So a lot of these hands battles do last longer. I feel like I am really a lot of people coming into pickleball are like, yeah, I want to see the hands battles. Where are they? I personally
that's where the cheering happens. Like, that's where it's exciting.
Yeah, it's hype. It's cool, right? I totally agree. It's super fun to watch, but I've also realized that I really enjoy seeing, like, the strategy and the feet movement and the, like, athleticism that a lot of people don't realize is needed to keep a dink rally going. And
Yeah, I think for the hardcore, like they understand and can see the value of the dinking, and it's impressive and fun to watch.
yeah,
But for like the general audience, it doesn't come across that way. But even
Right.
if they did slow the game down, say they capped power level or used a softer ball, like would that change the men's game?
I don't think it would. At least in the beginning, absolutely not.
I mean, the theory would be potentially like you could flick the ball, attack more,
Right.
with less repercussions because the ball's not coming back as hot, right?
See,
Like would it extend rallies or would it
thinking about
increase
that, I feel
attacking?
like that is an interesting way to put it. Would it extend rallies or would it increase attacking? Oh, dude. So let's say hypothetically we we make the ball softer. We're using Onyx indoor balls for every tournament now.
Love those balls.
And dude, if I'm playing with that ball, I'm going to attack everything. Just because there is more of a chance that I'll keep it in.
Yeah, like
But I
not gonna
definitely
travel as far.
don't think that the rallies would go longer. I feel like, it's just as easy to put away a softball in a hard ball when it's up high,
if given the opportunity,
right? I
You
feel
can
like
place it, right?
yeah, you can place it, and the biggest thing is like there's I was just playing against Kirk White recently, another player in Boise, and he's very, very good at like noticing these super, super small details in someone's play. And like a lot of attacks don't even need to be that hard. They can just
Right,
be 1 inch
very good at hitting
in
spots,
a
yeah.
different spot, and you'll win the point. And so I feel like given the opportunity to slow down the game, I feel like eventually people are going to figure out how to speed it back up. Because in the end, especially at the pro level, people aren't going to miss soft shots. So the rallies are ended by the attacks. And so I feel like inevitably it will speed back up. And I do think that the rallies won't get extended, at least by not much, maybe a little, but
And there is something to say for like the extra power and speed in the men's game. Like, it can be entertaining in its own way. Like when the fast hand exchanges do happen, it's like it's amazing that they even get a paddle on it and it comes back as well as it does.
Right.
So it's entertaining in its own right. It just can sometimes take it longer to get to that point, unless you're Thomas Wilson,
right,
where it happens in 2 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. No. That's the whole thing. Is there are players who can just speed up every shot, and there are players who can reset every shot. And so, no matter what, I feel like pickleball is going to. One thing that I think about pickleball, recently, I feel like the game itself hasn't changed that much. There hasn't been too much new strategy. It
Same
feels
rules
like that
the whole time.
Same rules, yeah. But like people a year
Except for the
ago, a
spin
year and a
serve.
half ago, right? They were talking about, oh, the game's getting faster. It's getting a lot faster. All these paddles are going to need to be different. All of this, we're going to need to learn how to reset. And I feel like lately there hasn't been much talk of the game changing exponentially other than these paddles that come in. And so I'm like, is pickleball, like, I feel like we've kind of figured out a style that works and a style that is going to try to be replicated with our setup shots, with our attacks. And so I'm not really sure how much it can change. Like, eventually, I think different ball, different paddle, we're still going to be playing pickleball. And I think there's always going to be shots that are going to work, and always there are going to be shots that aren't. So,
But like, I think the main
sense,
idea
but-
was like, no, it does make sense. I think people are just trying to just come up with some way to make pickleball more interesting to watch on TV for people who are just tuning in for the first time. They don't understand the game, or maybe they don't play as often. And I don't know if there is an answer. For me, like I felt like I don't like the idea of slowing it down, just because like I like that there's differences between the men's and women's game, and
totally,
to your point, like it's fun to watch each one for different. You get different looks, different styles, different things, and so I don't like the idea of trying to make the men's game the women's style. And anyways, there's some interesting conversations there.
For sure.
Porter, we're already in this 50 minutes. We're just talking.
This is great. Yeah.
This is great. And but we have some other topics, but before we jump into those,
you want to hit this? Okay.
We got to do Porter's game. So
all right.
Porter, I sent Porter. I was like, okay, here's some ideas for topics, and Porter's like, no, these suck. Let me show you how to do a podcast, Braden.
I'll be totally honest. I didn't read any of those.
Okay.
I purposely wanted to come in here not knowing anything.
Good.
But I did think, I'm like, hey, Logan's out of town. Braden's bringing in this schmuck, right? I've got to do something. And so I created this, what I think is an ingenious idea, where I asked AI to generate 5 sports quotes. 5, let me see what I wrote. I want you to generate 5 unique, inspiring sports quotes.
This is the prompt. This was the prompt for AI.
And AI came up with some. And then I also went to Andrei Dăescu's Twitter.
So inspiring.
And
he's so inspiring.
He what a guy, man. He posts these inspirational quotes about sports and about your psychology and all of this stuff. And so I thought
they're usually they're not like his quotes, right? He's just finding stuff he likes.
He's finding these stuff and he's able to post it, and he's getting likes and followers through it. And I find it interesting.
I give him likes.
Yeah, he's he actually posts some really cool quotes. But
there's definitely some gems in there. But it is kind of funny that that's his style.
What if we take 5 of Andrei's tweets and we put them up against 5 AI quotes, and we're like, which is which? So, Braden.
So these AI quotes, are these actual quotes, or this is just what AI came up with?
These are unique AI generated quotes.
Okay,
yeah.
Versus the real quotes.
Versus the real
Andrei.
quotes. So, all I want is I'm going to read off 10 quotes. I want you to think which is which. I'm going to write down on this notepad that I brought if you say AI or not. And at the end, we'll go over
AI
these.
or Andrei?
AI or Andrei. So, the first one. Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships.
No.
Do you think that is AI?
That's not Andrei.
Or
That's definitely AI.
Okay.
Andrei's better than that.
Yeah.
That's too basic. Too basic.
All right. Embrace the challenges of today to create the successes of tomorrow.
This sounds AI, but I feel like Andrei would say that.
Okay.
I'm going Andrei.
Okay.
You're laughing. I got it wrong. Oh,
no.
Okay.
That's not what I'm saying. I just think this game is hilarious. All right. The only limit to your potential is the one you set for yourself.
Okay, this is like a classic. I feel like I've heard iterations of this. It's got to be Andrei.
Okay. You can observe a lot by just watching.
AI.
Okay. All right. Going through these fast.
A lot just by watching?
Hey.
What?
I don't know, man. Success is not the destination. It's the journey of self-discovery.
This one's cheesy. Could go out. This is a 50-50. I haven't done Andrei in a bit. I guess we'll go Andrei. I'm doing like every other here.
Okay.
I'm not.
That's totally valid. All right. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can.
Andrei. That's how he did it.
That is how he did it. Earn the right to be proud and confident.
I think I have more Andres than AIs right now. What's my count?
I'm not telling you.
Well, it's gonna be 5 and 5, right? Like,
Okay, fine. You've guessed AI 3 times and Andrei 4 times.
all right,
So
we'll do
I'll
AI.
read
We'll
this
do
one.
AI this
You'll
time.
do AI? Okay.
Mhm. Just going percentages here.
That's fair. All right. Strength is not the absence of fear, but the courage to face it.
That's a real quote, I think.
Okay. So going Andrei?
It's going Andre.
Okay. 2 more.
Well, they're both AI, right? That's all I have left. Unless I decide to change one.
You've got guesses left.
I
So
do?
you've got 1 Andrei and 1 AI guess.
Okay.
Okay. You're never a loser until you quit trying.
What a dumb quote. That's AI.
Okay.
You never lose. Smart people don't use the word loser.
All right.
They use something smarter.
Your potential is like a seed. Water it with belief and watch it grow.
Oh, that is awful. That has to be AI. But all I have left is Andre.
You guessed Andrei on the last one. Or no, you didn't, actually. You did guess AI. So you've gotten Andrei.
Crap. So Andre does post some extra cheesy ones occasionally. That's what we're getting at. Oh, I have to go.
You can go either one. You can just be wrong, man.
I can get some. All right, I'm putting out as an AI, and I'm just gonna take a hit on something else.
Okay, you're putting that as AI. All right, that's it. Those are 10 quotes.
If I just said AI every time, I would have gotten 50%, which probably would have been the smarter route.
All right. The first one, I said, if you're on Pickleball Twitter, you should have known this. Talent wins game, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships. Michael Jordan. That got 54 likes on Twitter.
Dang it.
You guessed AI. That is an Andrei.
Dang it. That was so basic.
Uh-huh. The next one.
Michael Jordan got famous for saying that? I'm going to come up with some stuff here.
Dude, what else did that guy do? Jeez, get some better quotes, man. All right, the next one. Embrace the challenges of today to create the successes of tomorrow. You guessed Andrei. That is a ChatGPT generated quote.
Dude, I'm terrible. I'm over 2 here.
The only limit to your potential is the one you set for yourself. You guessed Andrei, and you were wrong. That is an AI generated quote.
I didn't think
0 for
this was gonna be
3
so
right
hard.
now.
I didn't think this
0
was
for
going to be
3.
so hard.
You can observe a lot by just watching. You said, obviously this is AI. That is a quote by Yogi Berra posted on Andrei Dăescu's Twitter.
No. I'm not the only
4.
one that's going to guess. If people are listening and are
4.
guessing, they would have said AI on that one. I'm giving that one to myself.
Man, I don't know. Success is not the destination. It is the journey of self-discovery. You guessed Andrei. That is AI.
I haven't gotten a single one, dude.
0 for 5.
Wow.
All right. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. You guessed Andrei. It was Andrei.
Yes.
Uh-huh. That is a quote
what a
from
relief.
Arthur Ashe.
Thank you, Arthur Ashe.
Uh-huh. Arthur. Shout out to Arthur. Earn the right to be proud and confident. You guessed AI. This is Andrei. That is a quote from John Wooden. You are currently 1 for 7, Brayden.
Wow.
Strength. Wait. Yeah. Strength is not the absence of fear, but the courage to face it. You guessed Andrei. This is AI.
Okay. I will never be an inspirational coach.
You're never a loser until you quit trying. You guessed AI. This is Andrei.
No, that is not a quote. No one says that.
This is an Andrei Dăescu classic right there.
Who said that one?
Mike Ditka. You're never a loser until you quit trying. Then on the final one, your potential is like a seed. Water it with belief and let it grow. You guessed AI. This was AI.
Okay.
You got 2 for 10.
I got 2 for 10. I thought I would do better. I
mean, I did too. So there's your AI or Andrei of the week.
Which one were you like, come on, Brayden, really? You picked that wrong?
The first one. The very first Michael Jordan quote. I was like, dude, he's got to know this. That one had over 60 likes on Pickleball Twitter, which is...
I probably liked it.
Yeah. It wouldn't, it was a retweet of an MLP tweet. So I was shocked that you didn't get that, I'll be honest. But,
Oh, that was fun. I liked that.
that was pretty good. Yeah.
All right, dude. I'm gonna finish some things up here, just talking about some new equipment releases that are coming out. So the Gearbox thing was just released. So I just want to inform everyone what else is coming, so that you can just be informed on what's going on there. So there's a couple new balls coming out. So Selkirk has their S1 Pro coming out in mid-November. Do you have any impressions on that yet?
I really like it. Obviously, I am Selkirk sponsored.
Super biased.
But to be clear, I do want to give the best review, and I would be honest either way. You heard me talking about the Gearbox. I said it had some good stuff, right? The Selkirks, I would say the great thing with these, I haven't seen a single one break.
They do play more durable. They hold the shape a little better.
Super, super durable. So
and not bad on the hardness.
For sure.
How would you compare it to a Franklin?
I would say it is probably in between a Franklin and a Dura, but actually surprisingly closer to a Dura. So a bit harder.
Yeah, it's not bad. It almost seems kind of like heavier.
Yeah, it's denser.
Yeah, and I wonder how it's able to hold its shape.
Yeah, like the Dura is faster, but it feels lighter. So I would say...
I agree with the stuff you said. I think it's going to be a good ball. Definitely better than their SLK Pro or whatever they originally came out with. I wonder if they're going to come out with new colors. I know the dye of a ball has... The color you dye the ball has an effect of how it plays. And that... It's kind of like a dull green, which I wasn't a fan of.
It's the same
easier to
green.
see like a Franklin or a Dura, I thought.
I think they released their old Selkirk ball also had that same green to it, I think. So,
but it's I think it's definitely an upgrade from what they've done before. And it's hard to make a perfect ball. It's plastic. I don't know how to do it, but I do think it's nice to have more options. So that'll be good. Pickleball
effect ball next.
I'm doing it. Nice. I can go on Alibaba and I can go find a Franklin.
Buy 100, just put your logo on it.
Yeah, it's easy. And then so Yola is also releasing a new ball. So they...
Oh, really? I didn't know this.
They messaged me a little bit ago. They're like, Braden, try this ball. We're going to release it. It actually comes out it'll be out this week.
Oh, cool.
Was the plan. It's called the Helios.
I wonder if the PPA is going to use that.
Yeah, so Selkirk and Yola both have like leverage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be fascinating to see if these balls start coming into play.
I think Onyx still has it, at least for now, unless this Helios is crazy good. But
it's so I said, sure, yeah, send me some. I'm thinking they would send me like 3. They sent me 25.
They say, okay, you've got a lot to test, then that's good.
But I have hit with those a few times. It's actually pretty similar to the Selkirk one, where it does it plays a little faster. It feels nice and durable, but it is a brighter color. Like when you look at it,
that's nice. Yeah.
It's almost got a similar look to the Dura, and so it's kind of in that same realm. But
so it's like more yellow.
No, it's more green, but
it's
kind of
like
has that like
thicker-ish
look.
Yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But anyways, I liked it. I thought it was good. I need to go play with them more, but it'll be nice to have some more ball options. And with Yola and Selkirk having such influence, them releasing a decent ball, could get into tournaments and stuff.
Yeah.
Because Selkirk's original ball release, they just weren't that great.
Pretty slow.
No one really picked them up.
Yeah.
But these ones are different, so that'll be interesting. And then of course the Selkirk Lux paddles coming out. You were involved with R&D. What?
Yeah. So I was.
Give us the deets.
I was lucky enough, like 7-ish months ago, I want to say, to be sent the beta versions of this paddle. I was super excited to be a part of this. The Lux paddle is basically what the Power Air was to the 002, the Lux paddle is to the 003. It is their official release of the 003 paddle with refinements, with all of that. And I was lucky enough to be sent like 7 different paddles, and I made a spreadsheet, power control, all of these things. And I was able to, out of the 7, choose one that I think I think for me was easily the best. And like I'm pretty sure that's what the other people chose as well that got to be able to test this.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm not mistaken, that's the one that's in the Lux right now. It is incredibly it is a very interesting feel, but it is incredibly nice.
So it's got a different feel from the 003 because the 003 was very, very pillowy, very plush.
Very pillowy, very plush. The Lux paddle is 003 with the giant sweet spot, very easy like control game, but the way I would describe it is like bouncy. The ball,
a bouncy control pad. Usually those don't go together.
Right. It feels like a trampoline. You know, when you're jumping on a trampoline,
usually,
if you want,
that makes it harder to control, which is fascinating.
Yeah, if you think about a trampoline, you're jumping up and down, right? You're this guy. You can stop yourself instantly. It might hurt your knees, maybe, I don't know, but you can stop.
Paddle's bad for your joints.
I feel no, that's not what I'm saying. Selkirk, if you're watching this, I think it's a great paddle. No, it's hard to describe. Like I said,
unique. So it is like noticeably different from the.
It is. I feel like it is noticeably different. There are definitely the similarities. Like I mentioned, the control is good. The sweet spot is huge, like it was on the 003. But it also does have that element of like added power that you can utilize. So
I'm excited to try that one out. So they were supposed to. They said they were going to send me all 3 shapes like a few weeks ago. They haven't come to my door yet, so
bummer, dude.
Still waiting on those. So my review will be a little late there. So that's
come on,
a bummer,
Selkirk.
but
get them out here.
I am excited about those. Those will be fun.
It's a fun paddle for sure.
And then so Rhombus released the R1 Nova a little bit ago. So I did a review for that one. They're releasing a new shape, their R3 Nova. So that's coming out on the 31st.
Nice.
I'm gonna have something put together for that. Volair is doing a Mach 2 Forza. So they have their Mach 1 Forza, which is like that they're thermoformed, but they're making a shorter one.
Cool.
Shorter, wider, standard shape with a longer handle. So it's like it's kind of like the Colin Johns shape, but with like the curve, the arrow curve top.
A lot of people are gonna like that.
Yeah, I think this one could be really popular. I'm pretty pumped about that one. And I think so that's coming out. They're shooting for about a month or so from now, and then 60 has a ton of stuff coming out. So they're Amethyst. I think that's how you say it. Mm-hmm. That's being released this week. It's just like they have like a pro version of their Black Diamonds, a little heavier. It's the one that what's his bucket uses. Their singles dude. Can't remember.
Julian?
No, this is 60's guy.
Oh, 60.
Jamie.
Jamais Vich.
Jamais Vich, yeah. That's the guy.
I took photos
this
for
is
him.
the paddle he plays with. Oh, you did? Cool.
Yeah.
And then, so then they're also doing another release in November. They have 2 more paddles coming out. This will be their Infinity series. Infinity is a pretty telling word of what these are going to look like if you can figure it out. And then they have another one coming out in December called the Ruby. So I have
fun names.
I have those paddles. I'm going to try to get some reviews out for those. And then Paddle Tech has their ALW collection coming out.
Oh, cool. Nice.
So I'm getting sent the ALW.
Did they do that last year? Is this like a reoccurring thing? I think they posted her. Oh, I know what it is. It's because
this is that black one she's been playing with.
They can change. You can change the color scheme on the last one, and so I think that's what this one is, right? It's just going to be different
I don't know
colors.
The details on it. I don't know if it's going to be any different than like their most recent like V3 release or whatever they just did. It might just be a new colorway, her logo, but we'll find out.
That's
cool. I know it's going to have her logo and stuff on there, but I'll be hitting those. And then Vatic Pro's got a bunch of stuff that's in the works. They sent me like 4 samples of some stuff that's really close to being done in production.
Nice.
So I imagine they'll have some things coming out pretty soon, but I don't know dates on them. And then Yola hasn't announced anything, but you can see photos of some of their sponsored players like playing with some new stuff. So and they had some stuff approved on the USAP list. So I imagine they're going to have something out before Christmas, though I don't know what. So that's kind of the rumor around them. But ton of stuff coming out. And so it's
good time.
If there is another hype train, wait until kind of you can assess with everything that's coming out, because there's a lot of really good stuff that I'm excited about. But that's going to end it for us. Porter,
awesome.
What a legend. We're going to have you back on here.
Cool.
And I know you're going to start charging me.
Absolutely.
I will pay you.
Okay, that this was, what was this, 109? So that's about $65.
Yep, bill me.
But yeah, if anyone, you mind if I like shout some stuff out here?
Go for it.
Okay, yeah, if anyone wants to follow me, what I'm doing, I'm on Instagram at Porter Barr Pickleball.
Follow him.
I also do photography content at Porter Barr _. That's my photo video area. If you want to see some of the stuff I'm producing, you can follow the Pickleball Academy on Instagram and YouTube. We're going to try to be posting more.
That's you. You do that with your mom and...
Yeah, so my mom, Susanna, and Mike El Marini, who is a trained fitness coach with his master's in... his bachelor's.
You do all the shooting and the editing and this like...
Yeah, so I do all the production for that.
Production's the word I'm looking for.
There you go.
You
Video
go to
guy
school
right
for that
here.
stuff, I don't.
Yeah, no, so I do all the producing of that, so that's something that's very exciting to be able to, a lot of pickleball is filming yourself right now, and so to be able to have a channel with two very experienced coaches and a editor and videographer, we're able to put out some great
it's high quality stuff, and I'm really excited for you guys to really start cranking there because I think you could do some damage.
Some cool stuff happening.
There's a lot of hacks out there like me. And it's nice to have a professional channel that you guys are doing. So very cool.
So follow
I want a cameo on one. I want to be like the dummy you guys are just smashing. You're like, this is...
we've had Nick on our Instagram. You can definitely fill in for him.
He's not going to get the views.
Right,
I
exactly.
will get the views.
Yeah, Pickleball Effect. So shout out to Pickleball Effect, Braden. Shout out to Heyshay and Odoth. I know that this will find them somehow. Also... One more final thing. If you are looking to purchase a Selkirk paddle, can I shout out my code?
Put it in.
Okay, cool. It is, if you want to get a discount on your shipping, your paddle, your clothes, whatever, use code ADV-PBAR at checkout, and that'll give you a discount. It'll help me out.
That doesn't sound very good.
Okay, well, just,
that's what
whatever.
People are going to remember it.
I don't want to be here anymore. This podcast sucks. No, go follow me if you want. If you don't, I couldn't care less. So have at it.
You care a little bit.
They're just people behind a screen.
Well, Porter, thanks for hopping on. Everyone, thank you for watching. Go do the things and follow what Porter's doing. Really good stuff. He took some photos for me a few weeks ago. The new header image on my website is a shot that Porter took. Looks really good. And I've never looked so great playing pickleball. Yeah,
I had to do a lot of editing on that, man. No, I'm joking.
You cleared up my moles. I looked really good.
You looked amazing. Yeah. No, thanks for having me on, Braden. This was a ton of fun. Yeah.
Okay.
See you guys.
See y'all.